Okay guys, so here I have started taking the screws out of the back of our mirror. We're going to need to remove the back of it in order to get to where the mirror is at. So I'm just going to begin taking out all of the screws and going around the whole thing. Make sure you have it on reverse. And we're just gonna start taking them out one by one. And some of them have these little felt doodads covering the screws. So you have to take those off first, and then you can see the screw underneath. Probably not all mirrors are made like that, but if yours does have the little felt dots on the back, make sure you look underneath them to check to see if there are extra screws under there that you'll need to take out in order to get your back cover off of your mirror. And here I'm just going to keep going around, getting the screws out. And once I get this part done, we'll be removing the back of it. For this project, you're going to need some coarse grit sandpaper, and you're going to need some white paint, decoupage materials, you know, your subject matter, napkin, decoupage sheet, whatever it is that you want to use for your decoration. You'll need some Mod Podge and a paintbrush, and I think that's pretty much it. A drill, of course. You'll need some tools for this project, and a little bit of elbow grease for the sanding part. And I'm almost done taking these screws out. And now I'm going to begin prying this up around, just slipping that butter knife up under the edge of the backing and gently prying that up. You don't want to tear it because we're going to be putting it back on when we're done. My big old head's getting in the way. And so I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Alright guys, so we've got our back off of our mirror now, and we're ready to determine where we are going to put our main image. This is the image we'll be using today. I got this one from Debbie at Kiki's Sale. It's the companion to the other project that I did. This is another great image, and we're going to be using this. And also this napkin I thought would be really pretty because it's got similar flowers to it, and we're also going to be using that. I've already torn the back off of it. Okay, but we want to determine where our main image is going to go. Now this is a reverse decoupage, so we're not going to be decoupaging the front of it. We're going to be turning it upside down. It's going to go this way. So we want to I want my image to kind of go here, maybe just a little off center. And this is round, so I'm just going to mark it there. And I'm going to cut it so that it can go all the way to that edge. But for now, I'm not going to worry about cutting it just now. What I want to do is mark the perimeter of where that's going to be, because we're going to be sanding this mirror. So I'm just going to mark the edges of where I want it to go. This is not going to show. Don't worry about that. We're just getting a good idea of where our perimeters are for that decoupage sheet. Okay? And then we're just going to mark a few little places around where we want our flowers to go. So probably one in this area, probably one here, and here. We're just going to kind of go around the mirror with these, and here, here, and here. Okay. All right. Now that we've got that done, I'm going to set this aside so that it doesn't get dirty. And we're just going to start sanding this. Got some glue on there because there's some glue holding that backing down, but that's okay. It's not going to get in our way. So we're just going to begin sanding this now. And I'm using coarse grit sandpaper. You want to use coarse grit or you'll be here all day. We may be here all day anyway. So I'm just going to keep sanding around this area. There's some tape on here, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's going to get sanded off. Just going to put a little bit of elbow grease in this, and we're going to basically stay within our perimeters. We're not really going to go outside of this. We're just going to stay inside that square. And we're going to do the same thing for each place that we marked. And when I get this done, I will bring you guys back. Okay guys, we've got this all sanded, and as you can see, you can now see through the mirrored part. There are two colors on here. This was quite messy. Safety protocols are up to the individual. It creates quite a lot of dust, so if you want to wear a mask and some gloves, that's totally up to you. I would recommend not getting a manicure before you do this, because the sandpaper will just rip it to shreds. And so I've got, this did take a little bit of time and some elbow grease, a couple hours probably here and there working on it. But it looks pretty good. And I've gone ahead and cut my image to fit where I want it to go on the glass. And I've also cut out my images for my napkin. I've torn around them and determined where I want to place them to keep this video going. And we're going to begin to decoupage this now. I've got some Mod Podge here. My brush, I did get out some saran wrap, although I don't think it's really, you know, all that detrimental if there's wrinkles or not with this particular project, because you kind of want it to look old anyway. You're kind of going for, you know, an antique look. So if you can see my hair in the video, I apologize. It is a total mess. It's very warm and I'm hot. So I put a little hairband on and my hair's kind of ugly right now. Okay, so first I'm going to start putting the napkins on here. And I'm just going to put the Mod Podge on. And put the napkin down. Get my saran wrap and smush it down. Okay. Next one. And these go on upside down. Not right side up, upside down. Let's see, where did I want that to go? Right there, I think. Yep. I'll move that over for now. I was going to tell you, it might be handy to have a handheld vacuum or a shop vac when you're doing this project, because you're going to need to clean up that dust that you're creating. It does, it creates a lot of dust. It's quite messy, but it's been a fun little project, so I hope you guys decide to try this. I think you'll find out that it's going to be totally worth it. are going to go back over this with Mod Podge, but I just want to get my napkins smoothed down good first. Yep, get out of there. We might need to get us another sheet in a minute, because that one's gotten a little messy. And you just want to cover up the part that's see-through, the mirrored, that part, you know, where you sanded it. Just going to lay these right over where you sanded that. Like I said, I'm not too worried about wrinkles, but this does help to get it sealed down good. Carefully peel that back. And we've got one more to do. I'm going to reach behind me and grab another piece of saran wrap, because that one has now got glue all over it, and it's not going to really serve us well anymore. I can get this off of here. Y'all know what saran wrap is like. Difficult to work with. Okay. That's there. It sticks to itself and nothing else. I don't know who invented that, but they needed to rethink that a little bit, I think. Except for decoupage, it works really well. Okay, that'll work. Okay, and we've got our big page to do. We're going to put that on there. And I'm going all the way out to the line because I'm going to just put that whole sheet on there. That line that we drew earlier, I can barely see it, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way out there with this decoupage glue. Okay, and I'm going to get that down. This decoupage paper is quite thick. So I'm not entirely sure it needs saran wrap, but I am going to use it just a little bit to help me get this smoothed down and tight on here. Like I said, if it wrinkles, I'm not real worried about it, guys. So, you know, if you're picky, you worry about your project. I'm going to do me and you do you. I don't think it matters for this project if it has wrinkles in it. So I'm not going to be too picky. Alright. I just want it stuck down good, so that's really what I'm aiming for, is just making sure it's stuck down good. Wrinkles are okay. I really don't want any bubbles though, so I'm trying to work out any bubbles that it may have. I want this so I can use that. Alright, now we're going to go over everything again. I'm going to get a little more of this because I'm going to be a little generous with it. And we're going to go over this again. Make sure it's stuck down good. Make sure our paper gets soaked real well. Go over our napkins. Okay guys, we're gonna let that dry and then I'll bring you back. Okay guys, we're back and this didn't take any time at all to dry because it's so warm today. So now our final step is we need to go over this with a coat of paint. I have some gesso and that's what I'm going to use. So we're just going to apply a liberal coat of gesso over the back. We're going to overlap our picture just a little bit. We don't have to paint over the whole entire mirror. We just want to go over where we put our pictures. This basically makes the images more visible on the other side of our mirror. So it's a very important step. You don't want to skip it. Hope everybody's doing okay. It's been extremely hot and muggy here in Oklahoma the past few days. We've gotten they say we haven't gotten that much rain, but it feels like we have. And all of it's just steaming back up into the atmosphere. We're supposed to have gotten a cold front in, but that wasn't very cold. Still very muggy outside, which, you know, makes it kind of muggy in here too. Not much fun to be outdoors. Good day to just work on art projects. Yay! So now we're just going over our napkin images. You just want a good coat over those. Okay, just a couple more to go. Just kind of touching up a few little spots here and there. Okay guys, I think that's good. We're gonna let this dry, and then when this gets dry we can put our backing on it, and when I come back I'll show you what our finished project looks like. Yay! Okay guys, this is our finished project. I forgot to mention that I got this mirror off of Marketplace. It is a Hobby Lobby mirror. I think the original price was still on it. It was about $70 mirror, but I got it for about 15 bucks. So if you don't have a mirror, you can get a mirror easily by going to Marketplace or going to garage sales, thrift stores. So you don't have to spend a whole lot on your mirror. I did decide to go ahead and decoupage the edge of the frame to make it a little more pretty. I just used images from that same napkin, and I think this turned out really well. I thank you guys for joining me today. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to go hang this so I can get a steady picture of it, and I will show you guys that at the end. Bye-bye.